What's going on, guys? So it is a Tuesday morning, and the weather's kind of gloomy. I guess it started to rain. It started to rain at the end of my AM cardio, so we're roughly around 6:30 this morning. And Ohio's known to do this. Like, Ohio's known to go through its bouts of weather. Like balancing between winter and spring when we hit the spring mark. So it kind of sucks, but it's the price I have to pay for being in Ohio. I don't know. Anyway, on to the day, right? So this morning I got to thinking, okay? Because I had to do this test, right? You guys are going to find this amusing, but, you know, this is where my thought process is today. So this morning, and I've been holding off on doing it, but I got a new fitness watch, right? I finally broke away from Fitbit altogether. Their bands just don't survive me. I mean, I'm not trying to put Fitbit down. If you're a Fitbit user, you know, do your thing. It just wasn't for me. The bands just would fall apart. They would, you know, the seals would break. They'd bubble up. I don't know why. I don't know exactly what I was doing that might have caused it to be a problem, but it was a problem. Anyway. So I got a new fitness watch. I went with the Garmin because they had like the best fitness watch reviews, right? And I wanted something that would track my calorie burn, my steps, my workouts, and stuff. And this watch is actually really, really cool because it's got this thing. It's called the VO2 Max test. And what what this test does, it tests your fitness level according to your oxygen intake and your heart rate while performing either a walk or a run. Only it like basically it documents you for about 15 minutes. So for 15 minutes you have to either be in a consistent run, or for 15 minutes you have to be in a consistent walk. I do both because I want to make sure that I'm getting the most accurate reading. When I first took this test, I ranged in the poor mark. Ranged in the poor mark not because of anything bad, but because I didn't know I was being tested. It gave me a message, and I didn't do a whole lot of reading on it, right? Because I'm a guy, and I fall into that category of not really reading the instruction manual when I buy something new. I just kind of play with it and figure it out on my own. It's the way I've always been. So I didn't know I was being tested. It basically told me to improve accuracy, more data is needed. And so I hit, accept, and then it told me that my run would be tracked for up to 15 minutes. And I was like, okay. So I just kind of leisure paced, right? I didn't push it hard, because that morning I wasn't even feeling like it. It was one of those mornings where I did not want to get up to do cardio, but I did cardio anyway because that's what I do. I try to do things I don't want to do when I need to do them anyway. But I didn't know I was being tested. And I got a poor score. Poor. I think it said something about my health index was at I was ranged as a 54-year-old man. That hurt. It hurt to have a fitness thing tell me I'm like out of shape. And the reason why is because I work really hard. Like, I put a lot of work into my workouts. I work really hard. I put in a lot of sweat when I work out. And so for something that is legitimate, like, this watch has been rated by multiple fitness gurus, by people that are in the fitness industry as a profession, and this watch is like supposed to be legit. So to have a legit thing tell me, hey, you suck, hurt my feelings, but at the same time, I didn't give it my all. Point to this story is, a great deal of the time we're being tested and we don't know it. A great deal of the time we're being tested in life and by situations, and kind of baptism by fire type deal, where sometimes we just have to figure out that it's a test, and then we gotta change our performance, right? Like, so this morning, you know, I didn't get caught in the rain, thank God, but this morning, I was like, you know, I'm gonna finally fix this. Like, I'm gonna do this test thing again. So I went into the watch, I went into the options, I selected the test, and now I'm above average. I'm my fitness level, my fitness index put me at like fitness level of a 24-year-old, 24 or 25, which is like 7 years younger than me. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. But I had to change my performance. I had to change what I was doing. I had to adapt because I realized what I was dealing with was a test. And when you face tests, you have to better apply yourself. You have to put in the work and the effort and, you know, the sweat to pass that test. I think a lot of us in life, we face those tests and we don't really know that we're being tested, so we find ourselves in a place where we kind of half-ass, pardon my language if that offended you, but we do. We kind of half-mark it. We don't really put in our full effort because we don't realize it's a test that we're being graded. And the thing of it is, we need to look at every obstacle as a test. We need to look at every situation as a test. Not because we need to stress ourselves out about the test, but because we need that in the back of our mind as motivation to apply 110, 120% to that task or that situation. I get it. Things are rough. Like, life's tough, man. I'm not going to, you know, be one of those people that get into a video and tell you, you know, do this, and do this, and life will be a breeze. Because it never will be. Life will never be a breeze. It will test you to your limits. I mean, that's what life does. And the thing you gotta get into your mind is that as much as life is testing you, you can always pass it, but you gotta put in the work. You gotta give your 110 or your 120. That's where it lies. Now, I'm telling you right now, like, I know some of you out there are like, but I am. Sometimes you gotta dig deeper. I know I can speak to the athletes that watch my videos when I say that, because athletes know that there are two versions of you, right? You got that version of you that wants to succeed, and then you got that version of you that has to succeed. And when the version of you that has to succeed comes out, that's when it gets real. That's when your game comes up. That's where you become superior in what you're doing. by no means am I trying to stroke anyone's ego, because there are going to be failures. There are going to be things that you cannot accomplish, or things that you will hit a brick wall in, and it will seem like a daunting task to try to get through it. But I'm also telling you, you can. You will make it. Failure is not failure unless you stop. Unless you give up, failure is not failure. Failure is learning. Until you give up, failure is learning. Now, if you give up, it's failure. And I'm telling you, you don't want to go down that road. So from here on, right, this is Tuesday. From here on Tuesday morning, this morning, right, this is what, the 26th, I think? Hold on. 27th. So, the 27th. March 27th, 2018, on a Tuesday, you need to start looking at things as a test. And you have to start applying everything you have to that test. I know you guys can do it. I know I can do it. It's just we got to apply the will. We have to impose our will on that test to get the results we want. I'm going to leave you guys so I can get the rest of my drive in and get to work, so I can pass my test, right? You guys have a blessed morning. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you guys again, guaranteed, on Thursday. I might shoot something tomorrow, I don't know. I'm not trying to stick to a daily video setup, because I know that's a little bit too much to ask out of myself, just because I don't want to burn out my content. I don't want to give you guys, empty content. I don't want to, open up my camera and give you guys false content, stuff that doesn't actually deliver a message or a real anything. I'm not going to absorb space just to be there. So I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Stay safe if you are in Ohio, because this rain's ugly. Stay safe no matter where you're at. I love you guys. All right? Have a good one. Ah!